friends, I'm Grace Ann.
And I'm Andrea.
And this is G&A for today.
And we are two best friends living a faith-based lifestyle.
And then we're documenting it. Also, I'm going to address why I'm filming in a different space. So I'm over at a friend's house because my family has germs. And there's like some cold and sickness going around. And with my transplant, I can't be exposed to that. So I'm staying at my friend's house for a couple of days. So sorry for the background change.
If you haven't already, make sure you watch last week's video. It was a video about what it's like being in a long-distance relationship, and we give some tips about how to better your relationship whenever you have that distance barrier.
This week, we are talking all about how to find the right college for you and what that looks like, what it means, and how to kind of figure out the college journey, so to speak. So we wanted to make this video to help you guys understand how we found colleges for ourselves and give you guys some tips on how to find the right college, because we know some of you might be graduating soon and you're looking to find the college for you and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to make this choice. So stay tuned, we got a couple of good tips.
Something that was really important to me when I was looking to go to college, because I knew that I wanted to go out of state, and it was really important to me that I went and toured the school so that I knew that it could be like my home there, because I really wanted it to be like a family and a home. Since I was going to be so far from my actual family, my actual home, it was just really important that I knew like the culture of the school and that I felt like it could be my home for the next 4 years.
So tip number one is that you need to take a tour on a weekday. Now I know that this sounds like crazy and seems kind of impossible, but if you have the time and you can schedule a tour on a weekday, I highly suggest that you take a tour on a weekday and not a weekend, because on the weekdays you'll see people going in and out of classes. You'll be walking with students and student guides who are actively on campus, going to class, eating in the cafeteria, etc. And there'll be opportunities for you to speak with students who are already students at that school, and that gives you a way to find out more information, and they'll give you an unbiased opinion, whereas like a tour guide, they get paid to tell you all the good things about the school, but students will give you an unbiased opinion, and they'll tell you, you know, why they really chose that school, why they enjoy it. So I always encourage people to take a tour on a weekday, because then you can actually engage with students as they're walking to class or in the cafeteria and stuff like that.
Okay, so the thing that I would say to a high schooler would be take your time. There's a lot of pressure for you to just go into college right after you graduate, and there's a pressure to just get your job and do what you're supposed to do. There's always going to be a pressure, but like just take your time, you know, even if that means taking a gap year. I never took a gap year, but I kind of wish I did, because it's just go, 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 go. So just take your time.
Don't make money the highest priority whenever you're looking for colleges. Don't just rule one out because it's way too expensive. Yes, you should keep money in mind, but when it comes down to it, if God is calling you to that college, then He's going to provide a way for you to get there. He's going to provide the funds. He's going to provide everything if that's where you're meant to be. So don't completely rule out of school just because of the money. Yes, it's an aspect, but if you're supposed to be there, then God's going to make a way.
So I believe that if you're really serious about going to college, you should look at the professors and meet the professors that you're going to be working with most often. So if you're going to be a music major, go meet the music faculty. Have a conversation with them. If the college that you're looking at has something where you can go and visit the college and they have like a day where you can tour, but also meet the professors, that would be best. I think at Lee we actually have where the professors will have lunch with you. So I think that's wonderful. Getting to know the people that you're going to be working with most will really help you learn throughout your college experience.
And then our next tip is to pray about it. Now I know that we always talk about praying about things because it's true, right? Prayer is the best way that we can talk to God, and it is something like college is something that takes a lot of your time, and it takes all of you to complete, right? Oftentimes you have to move to campus, you have to move to a different state or a different city or a different part of town than you're used to, and you have to live the college life, right? So that's not something to take lightly. It's something that you really actively need to be in prayer about. And when you're looking for these different colleges, you need to be praying, saying, okay, God, here I am. I've looked at this school and this school and this school. Which one are you calling me to be at? Which one do you want me to attend? You know, make a pros and cons list and be praying with it. You know, be like, okay, God, I know that this school can do this for me, or this school can do this for me. Help me make the decision. Because it's a big decision and it affects your life so much and in such a big way that it's something you really, really need to take into consideration and take to God in prayer.
I'd say my advice would be keep your options high and go to as many places that you're even closely interested in at all. The college I'm at right now I actually didn't want to go to, and I ended up falling in love with it. Talk to as many people in the major you're considering, explore all of your options. That's what I'd say.
When you're touring at this school, try to just sit down in the cafeteria with a random student and talk to them about how they like the school. Don't just talk to professors, don't just talk to teachers. Don't just talk to professors, don't just talk to your tour guides, talk to the actual students who are living the life that you could possibly be living soon. And they will probably be honest with you, and you can get the real scoop on the school. And that's a pretty nice and direct way to actually learn something about the school rather than just being an actual prospective student, actually going and talking to the students that are there.
And then my next tip is to sit in on classes that are in your prospective major. Now I know at some schools that's not an option. I mean, they don't let touring students or like prospective students sit in on classes, but A, it never hurts to ask, and B, if it's offered to you, take the opportunity. Especially if you can get sat in on a class that's not just a lecture or a gen ed class, but something that's within your specific prospective major. So let's say if you want to be a teacher, right? Ask if you can go to the School of Ed building and sit in on one of the education classes, because that is the quickest way to know whether or not you're going to like that school. Because some people don't like big lecture style classes, and some people do. For me personally, I wanted a school where I could sit at a table and have a discussion with my professors and with my classmates. And so when I was still doing my music major, I picked a local school called UNCG, and actually took a music tour, a music building tour, and went to be a music student for a day. And I got to sit in on classes about music education and vocal music, and I got to see what it was like to be in that world and to be a student within the major that I was already planning on applying for. And so it really narrowed my focus to say, oh, okay, so this is how classes go in this building, and this is what they consider, you know, this is what music students go through in a day. And that was really cool. And I know whenever I toured a couple of other schools, they let me do the same thing. They let me sit in on, you know, Piano 101 or, you know, just like gen ed music classes. And I got to see, you know, how they actually interacted between the professors. Like, did the students have a good rapport with the professor, or did it seem distant? You know, did you actually get to speak up in class, or did students feel more reserved and quiet, etc.? Because I'm a very communication-based person, and that was very, very important for me. So if you have the opportunity, definitely take the chance to sit in on a class, and I recommend sitting in on a class within your prospective major so that you can really understand how that school works and how that specific major is going to play out within that school. Because each school is different, and so the more chances that you get to sit in on classes, the more focused your search can become.
Make sure you know the college's student-to-teacher ratio. This might not be important to you, but it was important to me when I was deciding a college that I wasn't going to be just a number in a classroom of like 50 other students. Yes, I have had classes with 50 other students, but they've been my gen eds, like Old Testament, New Testament, but my actual major classes I have like 7 or 8, sometimes a little more students in that class. And it was very important for me to know that there's not going to be a lot of students per professor. That way you get way more one-on-one time and you get to build a better relationship with your professors. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave us a comment if you liked this video and if you'd like to see more videos like this, and also leave us a comment of how you chose your college, or if you're in this process, and what you're doing to try to choose your college.
Thanks again so much for watching and for making it to the end of this video. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button, which is right beside the like button. It's the big red box. Click that so that you are subscribed to our channel and you can see every video we make. And then beside that button is a little bell. You guys know what I'm talking about. Hit that bell so that you don't miss a single upload, so that you get notified every time we post.
Next week is a really exciting video. It's going to be a video about my trip to Europe that I took over December and winter break, so look out for that. That'll be coming a week from today.
Bye, friends!